You're live.
Welcome, everyone, to the best sports gambling show on the planet. This is WagerTalk Today. I'm your host, Andy Lang. It's $5 Tuesday, one of the best days to jump on board. Every capper has a play up for just $5. Today's board has a lot of action. This is how we try out handicappers. We recommend trying as many as you want, but also betting really responsible. We don't want half your bankroll on Tuesday's plays. So great chance to try and see if you find a handicapper that you really like, and maybe we can invest in something long-term. But today, $5 Tuesdays is always a lot of fun. Appreciate you all in the chat. Guys, hit the like button if you could, and we're going to get started. We've got Giani coming on, talk about where the money is going, and then Skee Profit is going to be joining us. We're going to talk NBA. Game 6, it's going to be at Indiana, and I think I may go downtown for it, just to see what happens if they pull off the win. He's also going to talk WNBA Aces versus Lynx. So let's get started right now, and let's bring on Giani after one day hiatus. Gianni, we miss you, man. You're like the cup of coffee that we get addicted to, and we have to have it every morning. So, how you doing, my friend? Happy Tuesday to you.
Thank you, brother. Just had some morning appointment yesterday. I had to knock out and missed you guys. It was a slow day, low volume. Anyway, I released one premium play. It got there, luckily, and just been running good, man. Play's been doing really good in baseball of late. And just keep grinding. It's been a winning year so far. I think I'm not up to number 2 now in profit for 2025. Nice. So just grinding away, brother. Just grinding away.
A lot of where's the money at today? Where are we seeing some money on this Tuesday?
A lot of baseball. Real quickly to get the playoffs out of the way, just so we don't forget about those. Nothing much already. Thunder money's come in. Not a great spot for them historically. In this game, but as far as the series goes, they're such a huge favorite right now. Historically, like a team that's played out like this has never lost this series. That's why they're like minus 1,500 right now, the adjusted series price. Obviously, no value on the Thunder. Maybe a sprinkle on Indiana, but I don't really think it's warranted, to be honest with you. That series is all but done. In the NHL, what you'd expect to see over. That continues to be the risk. That's the risk on tonight's game. Good two-way action on the side, a little heavier on Florida, but that's what you'd expect. They're the home team. They're about minus 150 favorite. So they should be getting about 7, 8 out of 10 bets, and that's what's been going on. It's about 75% of the tickets and of the cash is on Florida tonight. But the over sticks out more than anything else, whether they're taking Florida or even those that are taking Edmonton. They are betting it with the over in that game. Real quickly, in Major League Baseball, I'll go down the line. 902 Miami, all the way down to plus 165 and over 8 and 8.5. So 8 up to minus 130, 8.5 at minus 110. 908 Cubs, minus 150 up to minus 150. And the under in the Cubs game at 9, all the way up to minus 125 and 130 to go under 9. 913 Baltimore, plus 115. 920 Athletics, plus 120 and plus 115. And then over 8.5 up to minus 130 on Minnesota and Cincinnati. So a couple sides, couple totals in Major League Baseball. Again, still early here on the West Coast, but already firing away.
All right. Blocked is going to play along here, Gianni. He's going to try his own Steam report. Do you agree or disagree? He says sharp money on Miami. Let's see, Arizona, Pitt, O's, A's, and then the Mets and Atlanta over 8.5. How do you do, Gianni?
Miami, Arizona, Baltimore. Yeah, so far he's on fire.
Nice.
He's on. I mean, they're line moves. He's picking off the line moves. You know what I mean? Which again, that's a good way to confirm. The flip side, you got to keep in mind, Block, is that where it sits now, it's not being bet. So what that tells you is, has all the EV been extracted, or has that particular group that steamed that play or bettors that steamed that side gotten down enough money that now they're just backing off? Like when you're getting it secondhand, that's the conclusion you need to draw. Like, is it now at a point where the value's all gone, where whether I take side A or side B, there's no real EV to be taken advantage of, or is there still opportunity to get down? I mean, again, once the line moves, that's the question we all are faced with. Is there still value there? And if you're someone that handicaps by reading the market, that's kind of always how you're going to be playing. And eventually what you got to get to, Block, is being a predictor of which way it's going to go. Once that's the next step. That's the gradual progression to you're doing that. That's the first level thinking. Where'd the line open? Where does it sit now? And what does that reflect? And then the next level of thinking is, where's the line at? Where's it going? And then where's it going and why is it going in that direction? Once you start getting into that second, third level thinking, it'll start to make more sense and the picture will become clearer and clearer. But you're building the proper foundation. This is where it opened. This is where it stands. What does it reflect? And taking it from there. The only problem is when you're analyzing from that position, you're usually analyzing from behind. You know what I mean? You're not getting out ahead. And the goal eventually is to get out ahead, but you got to start somewhere. So I love where Block's head's at. Now you just got to slowly but surely gradually get to the point where you're predicting these line moves so you get out ahead of them. And just keep printing money, brother, rinse and repeat. If you could get that down, that's where it's at.
Are any sports harder, easier to predict some of these line moves, or does it just kind of game dependent?
Yeah, it is. It is a lot easier in the real popular sports, NFL, college football, NBA, college basketball, maybe baseball a little bit, especially during the playoffs and early in the season when people are excited about it, only because we know there's two things that move money. It's other than injuries and factors like that. But the two main drivers of line moves are the account that's betting it, the person that's betting it. Is he getting respect? And the respect has nothing to do with this individual game. It has to do with their history of beating the market. So, or is there a lot of money? Do we have so much risk on team A, we now have to move our line to try to track money on team B and minimize our risk on the game? Because the last thing you want to do as a sports book is be betting against your players. Like that's a position a sports book doesn't want to be in, where it's just me against you. They want to have it you against you, with me being the broker in the middle, getting as little risk as possible. So if respect moves lines and money moves lines, even though the public doesn't get a lot of respect, they do bet a lot of money, and that money has the ability to move lines. So it's easier to predict those line movements in those sports where the public is heavy. You know, those national championship, the top 5 teams in college football, they're going to get money every week. You know, those top teams in NFL are going to get money from the betting public every week. If that line doesn't reflect that money being bet, then that should be all of a sudden a siren going off. Like, wait, this is a popular team. This is a market that's majority of the money is recreational money. They're betting team A. Why isn't team A moving? Why are they comfortable with this much risk? Why are they not trying to balance some of that risk? And, you know, as a handicapper, those should help you draw some conclusions as far as where some value may be, where the sharp side may be. Because again, you're not trying to predict the winner. You got to separate yourself from that. Predicting the winner is easy. On paper, you can usually tell whether team A or team B is better. You know what I mean? You look at today baseball, you know, Colorado sucks. You know, the Mets are good. So Mets play Colorado. What should you do? Should you bet the Mets automatically? Of course not, because the money line becomes the great equalizer. The spread becomes the great equalizer. So, you know, these are just different ways that as a handicapper, you need to start approaching it. You're not trying to predict whether team A or team B is going to win. You're trying to predict whether the team A is this much better than team B. And is my prediction different than the sports books? And if it is, one of us is going to be right. And if you're good at what you do, you should be right more times than wrong and end up making money that way.
Gianni, I have a buddy of mine. He bets maybe 10 NFL game sides a year. And all he does is he looks if a certain amount of money has come in and the books aren't moving the line. He just bets with the book side. I swear he hits 70, 80% of his bet. He does it 10 times a year. He plays it big, and he's been up ever since I've known him.
I love it. I love it. Great comment. Great comment by Da Stratetsky. Sorry, I'm mispronouncing your name. English is my second language, so please forgive me. But you nailed it. I'm telling you, this isn't like, it's not my opinion. This isn't something that I came up with, but the efficient market hypothesis is legit. Markets are very efficient because the players are very good at what they do. The people that make up the market are usually very good at what they do. And the market's going to be efficient more times than not, or it's going to get to where it's efficient. And what you have to remember is when one line's off, that means you have a plus EV bet. Here's what I mean, Getzy. Let's say everybody, you look at the board and you have Team A -6 everywhere. But at this sports book, they're -8, okay? When something's off market like that, it is a mathematical certainty that one of those sides is plus EV. Either the -6 or the +8, but one of them is giving you the best of it. Your job is to determine which one. I would probably come to the conclusion that the +8 is giving me the best of it, since the market's usually efficient. And if Pinnacle has -6 and Chris has -6, and all of a sudden DraftKings has -8, I'm probably going to trust Pinnacle and Chris more than DraftKings. So I'm going to know that taking that 8, if I could find that out there, I am now getting the best of it, regardless of outcome. Who cares how the game ends up? My job is to find that +8 because I know I placed a good bet because the market is telling me it should be 6. Dude, that's the job of a trader and a sports bettor. It doesn't get any easier or harder than that. It's just with it being sports and people and money, we kind of miss, like there's just so much emotion and everything else factored into it that we overlook the obvious. And that is the obvious, that we look for that inefficient line. And again, the best way, Da, is when you have that and you see that off book, then you know one of those sides is giving you the best of it. And I love that you're looking for regression and progression during live betting. Again, keep in mind, sometimes that's not a big enough time frame for that regression and progression to happen. But when it does, it's a beautiful thing and an easy way to make some money, man. Good for you.
Yeah, I want to add something about beating the line. So Gianni is in Vegas. I'm in Indianapolis, so I deal mostly with the DraftKings, the FanDuel, the BetMGM, and everything, and I do a lot of props. I keep telling everyone this. The number one way to get limited with props is to smoke the opening line. You have to be really careful when you're betting on, like, I've learned it's better to not crush the opening line in the props markets. Like, if I see a prop and I know that this is completely off, you have to have a lot of patience and not bet it. You will get limited, and it only takes a couple times of you doing that, and all of a sudden you've lost BetMGM or you've lost FanDuel or something. So when you're doing props and you see a prop that is completely mispriced, you gotta have a lot of willpower and not bet it because it's a marathon, not a sprint. You have to keep your sports books open. So if you're betting props and you're like me and you do the DraftKings and the FanDuel and everything, we won't release plays. It's that important. We may see a play that's a no brainer, and we go, no, we got to wait for this line to move. Otherwise, we're going to get our clients banned from their sports book. So just wanted to offer that up for the props markets for everyone out there. So. Gianni, it's $5 Tuesday. What do you have up for clients today?
I'm trying to narrow down between a playoff play that I like and the Major League Baseball game that I have that's borderline 5%, but we can't do 5% on the $2 play or $5 play, whatever we charge for it. So I got to decide between those two. It'll be up within the next 15, 20 minutes. And like I said, I know they got a special running for me because I know I'm running red hot. But beautifully, we haven't really gotten lucky. It's just been grinding. Like I always urge bettors not to jump on board when they see me going an 18-2 run. Like you see me go 18-2, you don't want to jump on board because I'm not going to sustain that. There's no way I'm going to go 90% over the next 20 bets. So I'm probably going to disappoint you. But when I'm grinding, going, 3-2, 4-3s and you're just constantly picking up profit, that to me is the best. That's when I'm feeling like I'm doing the job the right way. You know, when you're running too hot and you're going on like an 18-2 run, you start to get a little bit nervous. Like it can't be this easy. Like something's going to come up from behind and balance this dynamic out a little bit, because I'm kind of like doing better than I should. I like to be right where I should be, where just winning 4 out of 7 days, enough to have a winning week, winning, you know what I mean? 18 out of 30 days, having a winning month, winning 200 out of 350 days, enough to have a winning year. That's the goal, baby. That's it. I can't do it every day. I wish I could.
Absolutely. Yeah, Gianni, I get more terrified of an 18-2 streak than I do like a 5-7 losing streak.
Thank you.
I get it. I get terrified, and it's like, oh man, you guys can't miss. It's like, oh, watch, we're getting ready to, because it's just
real quick.
math.
Do you like the UFC card this Saturday? I'm having a little trouble with it so far.
Hot take. They may move this thing. It's supposed to be over in the Middle East.
Yeah,
and,
that's why it's so weird. It's a weird
one. There's all of a sudden wars over there. So I would be very concerned with it right now, just because of the uncertainty. And what if they say, and you know, Dana, he's not canceling anything. He's just moving it, making everybody like fly to Vegas or something. UFC, we went 2-1 in UFC, except we lost our big play, No, we lost our big play, which sucks. It's like we lost the one that, you know, everyone, you know, probably bet. So, you know, we know how this game rolls. So I like 2 or 3, and that's all I'm going to take. Actually, my $5 play is a PFL UFC combo. We may have 1 or 2 plays total in these 2 cards, because I just need 3 or 4 units of profit, and we're back. We're back going. So, Gianni, we had a cricket match get canceled in the middle of the game because bombs went off like 30 miles away. We lost we had a no action on a cricket play because a war broke out like down the road. So now we may have this thing on UFC as well. So I think Dana will move it if he thinks the region is unstable. But yeah, when you got a UFC card like that, just a couple of them, a couple plays, and that's all we need to grind away. So. Any opinion on the White Sox? Bad, exical, crossical?
I'll look real quickly. Let my man know what I got.
Yeah, it's not bad test.
White Sox.
Shout out if anyone got that ridiculous
St.
joke.
Louis?
Yeah.
Oh, I love St. Louis. I don't like St. Louis. I love St. Louis. Yeah, I like St. Louis and the White Sox for sure in that game.
There you go, Bad. All right, Gianni, your $5 play is going to be up soon, so make sure you take advantage of that, guys. Thank you so much, Gianni. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
Thank you, brother. Good luck to you.
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys. Let's go all around the world. Let's give out some free plays here. We got some free plays from the WagerTalk free picks page, and I got a couple that I like. So Kenneth, you're asking for baseball plays, so here you go. We're going to start. Ralph Michaels hit his yes run first inning yesterday. We'll go back to it, except we're going to do no run first inning. Royals and Rangers. Nerfy. Royals 1 run in the first inning the last 9 games. The Rangers only 1 first inning run their last 9 home starts, and the 2 starting pitchers are combined 7-0 run last 7 starts for Nerfy. So take a look at that. We mentioned UFC, a little uncertainty. I love Orelby at -166 over at Musayev. Musayev is coming from Risen. He's 35 and he's had like 26 or 27 professional fights. If you're 35 and that many fights and the UFC hasn't come to get you, it means they don't think you're very good. It's supposed to take place in his region, and I think that's why he's getting this fight. Orelby, he wears a lot of damage on his face, but he should just be a little bit more crisp and more seasoned. He's been in the UFC for a few fights, so I like Orelby over Musayev. We talked about paper trading team totals. It went well last week. I gave a lean on one yesterday. It didn't win. This one I love so much. This is a client play. We're going to take the Rockies over 3.5 on their team total. Their bats have all of a sudden come alive. They've gone over this total in 7 out of the last 8 games. Starting pitcher for the Nationals, he's given up 3 or more runs in 6 out of his 8 starts this year. And Washington, second worst bullpen in in all of Major League Baseball. So even if he gets rocked and they pull him, they're bringing in a bad bullpen. So that is an official client play for the team total. If we hit this one, that may be all we need as far as team totals for the week. We grab a couple of those valuable units. hits and we move on. And then Ronald Kabang has a WNBA play, Mystics -4.5 over the Sky. If you've been following the WNBA, you know how bad the Sky are without Vandersloot in the lineup. They are coming off a win, but they beat the worst team in the league. Mystics blown out last game. They're looking for a bounce back spot. 5th best team on defensive shooting percentage. So those are your free plays for all around the world. And again, guys, it is $5 Tuesday. My $5 play is up. It's in PFL and UFC. We are coming off a losing week in MMA. Really sucks. We hate it, but we're still number one as far as MMA profits in 2025. So losing weeks are going to happen. I get excited because they don't happen that often, so I look for a bounce back week. Like I said, we may only have a couple plays this week. There's a lot of uncertainty, but there are some really great plays, like 3 or 4 that I love across both of those sports. So that's an example of a $5 play that's up. Some people may have MLB plays up, may have WNBA, may have some NHL, NBA. Just take a look at the front page, find a capper that you like, find a game that you're looking to bet, and go ahead and invest in that. Again, bet responsibly. We don't want to have too much of our bankroll on one day, but it's a great day to try out handicappers. And if you hit a winner, you really like the write-up, then let's invest a little bit long-term. So, all right, that's $5 Tuesday. Now we got to bring in Skee Profit. We're going to talk a little NBA and WNBA, and then after that, we'll close out with a marquee matchup. We'll talk about the NHL. Skee, how are you doing, sir? What did you think of the game last night?
I had fun. I enjoyed the game tremendously.
Okay.
I was watching. I had a lot of friends around different places throughout the casino, but I know the first half, I had the over 223.5, but the first half wasn't as high scoring as we like, and I was just telling everybody, we're not worried about it until the second half. I said it in the first quarter. We're not worried till the second half. Or second half scoring team. So everything went good for me. I'll say this. Hallie, I don't like to hear, Hallie, hamstring. I don't know. I just don't like excuses while you're playing. Like, if you want to talk about it afterwards, or whatever, that's okay. But I don't like to hear it during the series. There are a couple of things I want to touch on that you and Gianni talked about, though.
Okay. I have a hot take. So it's a calf for Halliburton. I don't think they should play him. He looked like a shell of himself.
Yeah.
And calf injury, Skee, we know what calf injuries lead to. You get a calf injury, and now all of a sudden you got an Achilles injury. I do not want to go into next year with Halliburton out, and I'm just not sure they can win 2 games with a hobbled Halliburton. If there truly is a calf strain, just give the keys to McConnell and Nemhart and some of these guys and just say we're better off. I mean, his shot was not even close to going in. They were coming up short. I don't know. I get terrified of those. We look at the Boston Celtics right now. It's just it's one of that's my hot take is Halliburton. I don't think they should play him. They're going to, but I'm nervous.
I agree with you as far as he didn't look good, but he's had a calf injury this entire series. Maybe it's gotten worse, but I mean, I also agree with you. TJ looked a lot better than Hallie out there, so
yeah,
he should be getting a lot more minutes. 2 things,
would you?
Really quick, Andy, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
One, I don't disagree with your advice as far as trying not to get people limited, but I think it's such BS that books want to limit people because they beat you on a line. It's your job to put the line up. If you don't want them to beat you on the line, and put better lines up. How about that? Like, I had a story like that yesterday, and it just annoys the hell out of me. So that's first. Second,
I agree. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You touched on something. Like, you put the line out. if you don't want us to bet it, don't put the line out. Yeah, exactly. All right. What was the other thing?
I disagree that, like, when I'm the kind of person in betting, when I'm playing sports and everything I do, really, I'm a very, very streaky person. So I disagree. When I see myself start to streak, I get more confidence. I don't get nervous. I start to, I feel like I'm feeling good, and that's how I am right now. I won 11 out of 12, so we'll try to keep that going.
Ooh, 11 out of 12?
Yeah.
All right. I love it. Ride the hot streak. I'm rooting for you, man. Keep it going. Let's talk about Game 6. What do you expect from this game? Obviously, the Thunder are huge favorites for the series. They're going to be favorites in this game. I think the lines have been pretty dialed in. The over-under was within like 4 points of that. The spread was pretty close. How do you think this game plays out, and what side are you leaning?
Yeah, honestly, I like to watch the games multiple times before I bet them when it comes to the finals. But my initial thought or opinion is, I mean, we kind of touched on it already. Halliburton's health is a big question mark, a big key to this one because if they don't have him out there, it's hard to see them being able to compete with the Thunder. He's a lot of what the Indiana Pacers do. So, seeing how he looked in that last game and knowing how healthy the Thunder look right now, like both of these teams have done as much adjustments as we're going to see pretty much for the series. Now it's just who can execute, and I feel like the Thunder are the team that I can trust more to do so, especially with the health concerns. So -4.5 seems kind of like a gift. If you look at history, I mean, and chances to close out a series in the conference finals or NBA finals, the road favorite, they've covered or they've won, however you want to call it. I think 5 out of 6 times, like they're favorite for a reason. And that's how I feel initially about the OKC Thunder. Doesn't mean I'm going to run to the window and bet it because I like to do my due diligence and watch the game again. But that is my initial thought for the side. And the total, I really don't like to think about Pacers games under. It's just not something I love to do, based on the style of play that they like to play. But if Hallie's going to be banged up and hurt, looking like he did last game, I mean TJ can't play 48 minutes. The offense is going to suffer, or they might be forced to play a little slower than they like than their identity. So it does make me lean towards under. I guess right now, before, like I said, before watching the games again, I'll lean OKC -4.5 and under 224.5.
I get what you're saying on that. I haven't made hardly any bets in this series. I can't offer a super strong opinion on it. Let's see. Questions about WNBA here in the chat for you. I don't know if you have any information. They're asking, why is Dallas favored tonight against the Valkyries? Couple people are asking on that one. Looks like -3.5 at home against Valkyries. Any opinion on that?
Yeah, I can't see the current line right now, but I did put a free play up, and it's just it is for the Wings to win on this game.
Okay.
I mean, that's the question he's asking is the main reason the game stood out to me. I mean, they're 1-11, they've lost 7 in a row, and now they're favorites. So that's what you do. You go and figure out why they're favored in this game. And reasons I came up with, one, Valkyries are off of a win as a really big dog. It's a huge letdown spot for them in that regard. The Valkyries have 5 players already listed out with one more game time decision. And the Wings, they're at home with the rest advantage. I mean, they do have a couple players out, but they're healthier than the Valkyries. And the Wings were just on the cusp of winning their last game. Literally, they're up by like double digits with about 3 or 4 minutes left. And they just tried to sit on the ball and play too conservative and gave the game away. So I think they'll learn from that. I think, since they got Page back in the lineup, they're going to start and continue to trend upwards. I think this is a spot for them to get a win. They're not going to lose every single game this season. This is a very good spot for the Wings. So that's why I think they're favored.
Love it. We're going to talk aces and links real quick. It's $5 Tuesday. Tell everyone what you have up.
Man, if you went yesterday, you got to play that I like really a lot more than the one I said today. But the line didn't move about like 6 or something points like that, so it had to come down. However, there's another play that I love too. It's a 3% and the W, and you can find it on my page, wt.buzz/HP. I actually put up 4 plays today, but yeah, my $5 Tuesday play is in the W tonight.
Love it. Love it. Well, let's talk about aces and links. The links finally lose one on Wednesday, and then they just return and beat the you-know-what out of the Sparks. I think that was a 23-point game. Aces have lost 3 out of 4. Looking at the line, 13.5. Over under at 161.5. What do you think of this game?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the injury report again. Yeah, Asia Wilson, listed out again with the concussion. For one, I mean, I have to start, even before I say Asia, like the defense for the Aces has just been terrible. And without her, it gets even worse without her down there to help protect the paint. So that's a major concern for them. And then on the offensive side, it's really been not a whole lot of help from anybody besides Jackie Young. So teams, I feel like, are packing the paint. The only way the Aces have really been able to score, I feel like, is Jackie getting downhill, maybe trying to get in transition. And I can't really look at the aces here. I mean, I know the line has moved so much, you don't want to get the ass into the line on the links, but it's just I prefer to back one team here, and so I'll stay away from the aces side. But the total is very interesting to me. I think because of that poor defense from the aces, we can expect the Lynx to score. The Lynx offense is very polished. They lead the league in assists. They've had 25 plus assists in I think three straight games. So I trust them to score. I thought about their team total over 86.5. They cleared that three straight meetings versus them. Very doable in this one. I just I can't help but think um, the the past couple games for the Lynx, their defense has taken a hit, and I think it has to do with Jessica Shepard being out. You do lose a big. That's some paint protection. Can the Aces take advantage? That's the question. I do trust Jackie Young to get downhill and do everything she needs to do, but the Lynx can still pack the paint and try to force these others to hit jumpers. And if they do that, it can get ugly for the Aces. So the line did come down a little bit on the full game. I think currently right now, I would prefer a Lynx team total at 86.5, but I was really just trying to get there with some form of over. I'll share one more thing with you guys. It's a query. I mentioned they had three straight games of 25 plus assists. If you look at lower total games, like below 167, home favorites off three straight 25 plus assist games, they are 71 to the over, 71 on team total over. So if I'm playing this one, over 161.5 or Lynx team total 86.5 over.
Love it. Skee, we've had some handicappers on some really good runs on here. Myself, I've been down the last couple weeks, so I'm going to talk a little bit later about what's not been going right and how we can fix it. But you're on a really nice run, so what's it been? Total spreads, a certain sport, or are you just seeing everything good?
It's a mix of everything. I mean, mostly WNBA. I know WNBA has been the best for me right now. I think I've hit even outside of that, around 18 of 25, something like that. So a lot of WNBA. I've won my last few games in the NBA Finals. It's really just been those two sports that I'm looking at right now. I took a little break from tennis, just trying to finish out the NBA season, and yeah, just focus on basketball right now.
All right, I'm going to tell you something crazy about tennis. We're going through like, hey, what's working and what's not working. And our Corbin, who does our tennis plays, I was like, Corbin, you're always great in the first like couple rounds. And I was like, and then the less players in the tournament, we struggle a little bit. So this is how important trying to do deep dives on your own records are. We went and looked. He's got a losing record this year on Saturdays. On Mondays, first of the tournament, he's 20-6.
Wow.
So right there, the numbers are telling us you bet the first part of the tournament and then don't worry about it for the rest of the tournament. So there's an example of a deep dive in tennis about, when we have the most plays to choose from, when we have more options, that's when we do the best. And then the less players enter their tournament, it doesn't go well. So we got our plan for the rest of the year just by diving deep in the numbers and trying to figure out what's been working. So 11 out of last 12
Always good
winners.
to look at your plays and see what went wrong and what you can fix. And for myself, for tennis, it was ATP. For whatever reason, I'm a lot better with the women, so I'll stick with the women over there. WTA.
Clip that. Put that out on social media. Skee Profit's much better with the women. So awesome. Continued success, Skee. $5 play is up. Thank you so much, and good luck on all your plays. Have a great Tuesday, Skee.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Let's see. We got enough time. Oh, Kenneth, how do you cap tennis? One of the biggest things is the surface. Some players are much better on clay. Some players are better on grass. That's probably the number one thing. Obviously, you want to bet the better players, over the good. But looking at surface, there are players that are great on grass and then can't keep up on clay. So you got to know the different seasons. And then for us, when we use DraftKings and FanDuel and stuff, we do a lot of parlays with like players to win one set or, a certain amount of games to keep up within like +4. I think we hit a +4.5 and, they covered by 4. So the surfaces are number one. I would try and focus on a few players if you're just getting started. I love betting Sabalenka to win 2-0 in the first couple rounds of tournaments. She goes out and steamrolls players. Once she plays the harder ones, she normally wins, but it may go 3 sets. So just pick a couple players, look at the surfaces, and also injuries. one of the best players on the men's tour said we're playing too many games. Everyone's hurt. Take a look at injuries, because some of these players will show up to get their appearance fee, and they'll lose the very first one because they're injured. So keep an eye on injuries, surfaces, and just a talent discrepancy. So, blocked Wimbledon is on grass. It's just it's very, very short grass. It's not very long grass. So, guys, so we mentioned, done kind of we haven't had a good couple weeks. So one of the biggest things we realized is we're probably putting in too many plays. We got to be a lot more selective. So, the volume is going to be down this week. We hit a cricket play last night. I don't know how many plays we're going to have for the rest of the week. We're up 2 units in that. Maybe we only have 1 or 2 more plays. Team totals is the same thing. I paper traded last week, went 5-2, so we're going to be in play. I like that Rockies team total this week, but we're really, really condensing the amount of plays. So maybe we only have 15, 20 plays in all sports this week. So that's going to be one way that we attack this week, and of course we'll keep everyone up to date. So let's do a marquee matchup, and let's talk the Oilers at the Panthers. Somebody said Oilers big. Kenneth, Oilers money line, Andy, big money. Okay. I do lean Oilers. I just think in this series, plus money is pretty good to pass up. I'm expecting most people to think Florida's going to win. The books certainly do at -150, but Edmonton would be a slight lean. That being said, you guys know me. I handicap props, so we'll go over some props here. The first period over 1.5, it's hit every game this series. It's all the way to -154, but I'm not playing the over, or I'm not playing the under on that. So first period over 1.5 is a way to look at it. Only player to have a point in every game this series is Sam Bennett. He's -132 to have a point. That guy is always around the puck, always around the net. Lundell has a point in 4 straight games, and he's +135, so that's a good plus money price on a guy that's been hot. Corey Perry, only player to go over his shots on goal total in every game this series. That sits at 1.5 shots on goal at -130. Evan Bouchard, only player to go over his blocked shots prop in every game this series. That's at -148, 1.5. If you think Skinner is going to struggle and may get pulled if he gives up some goals, under 25.5 saves is only -108. But you're kind of rolling the dice there, because if he plays great, he's probably going over. But if it goes to overtime, then it's definitely going over. But you think he could struggle and get yanked early, that's a play on the under. If you think Edmonton wins this game and gets going offensively, Bobrovsky over 27.5 saves is a play, especially if it goes to overtime again. The goalies flew over their saves total when it got to overtime. And I'll just throw this out there right now. +290 to go to overtime. They've gone to overtime 3 games in this series. I just think that +290 is pretty interesting. And I see blocks as Oilers team total over 2.5 -130. I think plays are correlated. If they win, they're going over. If they don't win, then I don't see a 2-1 game tonight. But I'm not the hockey expert as far as like spreads and totals. I focus on props. I would say your better money is going to be on the +130 for them to win. If they get to 3 goals, they're in it, and now you've got a much better number and a chance. So, all right, guys, that is going to do it for us. It is $5 Tuesday. Our best bet is up. It's in UFC and PFL. Like I said, we may only have a couple plays this week, so go ahead and grab that. We are coming off a losing week, full transparency, and we're still maintaining that #1 spot for MMA profits. These are plays that we bet with our own money. And every other handicapper at WagerTalk has a $5 play up. So if you're looking for MLB, we've got plenty of those. If you're looking for NHL, we've got those up as well. So take advantage of $5 Tuesday. Try out as many handicappers as you want. But remember, we're betting responsibly, not having too much of our bankroll on there. We want to come back and have a good, profitable day tomorrow. So thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Creeping up on another milestone here. Next milestone is 210,000 subscribers. So be a part of the WagerTalk family. It's one way you can really support us is just hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel so you get notified when all the videos go live. Thanks very much. Let's have a great Tuesday. We're going to do it again tomorrow. Good luck on your bets and take care.